Heaven is not asking you to understand. It's asking you to feel. Today is not what it seems. You woke up into a different timeline, though the sky looked the same. Something opened quietly while the world was still asleep. And if your soul has been restless lately, if your chest has carried a weight with no name, that was the preparation. A doorway has been unlocked, but it does not swing open with sound. It hums, soft, low, undeniable, to the ones who've been waiting without knowing what they were waiting for. You can't see it in the news. You can't measure it in hours. But today, the rhythm beneath reality has shifted. The pulse behind all things, the pulse of prophecy, of cycles, of celestial codes, it changed. Not as a storm, but as a stillness so pure that only the attuned can hear it. The air is heavier, not with fear, but with purpose. There's a scent in it, a scent of finality and beginning, a vibrational signature written into the invisible. And somewhere deep in your nervous system, you already know. Something is asking to be born through you, and something else just ended. This moment didn't arrive suddenly. It's been building in silence, behind the veil of days, gathering like a storm of light. And now that it's here, it demands no permission, only recognition. The timeline has split, not externally, but within you. The choices you make from here are not small. They are cosmic declarations. They are soul alignments. And the strange tightness you feel today isn't anxiety. It's the echo of the old timeline closing. Your body remembers what your mind cannot yet name. If your spirit is still listening, if something deep within you is saying yes to this transmission, pause now. Mark this moment, like this video, and subscribe. Not just to follow, but to align with every future message encoded with the same divine urgency. You're not here by accident. You were meant to witness this. The past did not end yesterday. It ended now, with a kind of softness that only comes when something ancient finishes its task. The grief you've carried wasn't all yours. The exhaustion wasn't just physical. Your soul has been emptying out rooms it no longer lives in. And now, those echoes of who you thought you had to be, of what you were pretending not to feel, are gone. Even if your thoughts haven't caught up, your energy has. The weight lifted overnight, not as a miracle, but as a transaction. Something old was finally released. And now, the new doesn't arrive with fireworks. It arrives with breath. Don't ignore the signals. The random tears. The sudden silence in conversations. The sense that you don't want to explain yourself anymore. These aren't moods. They are sacred markers. Today, your soul is stepping across a line it's been approaching for years, and there's no going back. The things you tried to fix one last time, they crumbled. The people you held on to in the name of healing, they faded. Not because you failed, but because the contract ended. This is the threshold, and not everyone will recognize it. The voice of this day is not loud. It whispers. It calls only to the ones who've learned to hear with their spirit. The world will feel ordinary to those who have not been listening. But to you, yes, you, there is something unmistakable in the air. A silence that speaks in codes. An ache that is not pain, but memory. You've been here before, long ago, in other lives, when other great turnings were unfolding. That familiarity you feel, it's not nostalgia. It's destiny calling you by name. Today is not for noise. It's not for answers. It's for surrender. This isn't about productivity or clarity or achievement. This is about becoming still enough for the download to complete. You are receiving something today that cannot be put into words, but will shape every word you speak from here forward. The truth isn't out there. It's arriving now, through sensation, through presence, through breath. And if you keep searching outside yourself, you will miss the moment. Turn down the volume of the world. Decline the calls. Let the silence stretch longer than what feels comfortable. Because something is trying to land in your system that needs space. Your inner world must become the altar. Don't try to understand it. Don't ask for signs. The sign is already inside you. The unexplainable pull to be still, to disconnect, to feel more than usual. That is not weakness. That is initiation. If emotions arise today, without a clear source, let them move. They are the language of the divine, flushing out what your logic tried to bury. Your soul is rearranging furniture you forgot you even owned. And this inner discomfort, it's the proof of change, not the problem. The energy today will not wait for your permission. If you don't pause, if you don't listen, the message will pass through and vanish. But if you honor the silence, it will rewrite your blueprint. You were never meant to carry yesterday into today, and the version of you that tried to hold it all together is no longer here. Something lighter is ready to step in, but it cannot share space with your former timelines. Today, you must choose to release the grip, not just mentally, but energetically. You must become a clear vessel again, because what is arriving is precise, and it will not fit into an already cluttered soul. The sky isn't offering a sign, it is the sign. And if you're watching the heavens today, don't look for movement, look for stillness. In the stillness is the shift. In the silence is the roar. Today isn't waiting for you to decide if it's important. It already is. And if you let yourself fully arrive into this moment, if you allow the old to exhale from your chest, you will hear what so few ever do. The quiet voice of destiny, finally unblocked, finally ready, finally speaking. And as that voice stirs something ancient inside you, the world around you begins to respond. It's subtle at first, a sensation that the edges of reality are softening, the veil growing thin. You blink and something feels different, as if your inner awakening has triggered a peeling away of the old world itself. The air no longer carries the same weight. The clock ticks, but time feels foreign, stretched, like it's waiting for you to catch up to something you can't yet name. You have crossed into the threshold between what was and what now demands to be born. Every breath is a choice now. Every glance, a direction. And this isn't metaphor. It's law, cosmic law, encoded in the very particles moving through your blood and breath. What you do today is not just lived, it is recorded, etched into the vibrational memory of your timeline. If you step with hesitation, the path will blur, but if you step with reverence, it will unfold. You may already feel it, a tremble not of fear, but of prophecy, a soft quake in your decisions. The routine things no longer fit the way they did yesterday. There's friction in what used to be easy. This is not confusion. This is the old fabric of your identity unraveling. You're not being punished. You are being repatterned. The frequency has shifted, and you're either tuning in or falling out. Today is the first trial, and the test is silent. No one will grade you, but the outcomes will speak volumes. The universe is not checking your answers. It's checking your alignment. There is no script to follow now. No spiritual checklist. Only presence. What you carry in your energy becomes your seed. What you avoid becomes your shadow. Every small act, your tone of voice, your gaze, even the thoughts that flicker unnoticed, become either keys or locks. It's not about right or wrong anymore. It's about resonance. and only you can hear the pitch of your own soul. The door won't open just because you want it to. It opens when your frequency matches the one it was encoded to recognize. And today, it's listening. The reset has already started, but not on your phone, not in your calendar, not in any public announcement. It began in the unseen, the place where your soul codes reside. There is no alarm to hear, only the subtle tug of something internal realigning. Have you noticed it? Time has been bending strangely. Mornings don't feel like mornings. Hours move too fast, or not at all. That's not your imagination. It's your inner system recalibrating to a new dimensional field. You're not behind. You're inside the reset. And that means things will feel distorted as the old framework dissolves. Letting go is not a suggestion now. It's the requirement. Every object you hold with emotional weight, grudges, regrets, attachments, they are being highlighted today not to torment you, but to invite release. If you're feeling exhaustion, heaviness, emotional waves out of nowhere, it's the pressure of spiritual resistance. The more you try to force stability, the more unstable it will feel. But the moment you surrender, even if you don't know what to surrender into, the current will carry you. This isn't the end of control. It's the beginning of flow. And flow is the only language the reset understands. You might feel called to simplify, to cancel plans, to leave conversations half-finished. That's not flakiness. It's preservation. The reset doesn't tolerate energetic noise, clutter, distraction, unnecessary opinions. These things now echo louder than ever before, and they will distort your inner compass. The only way through is to create space, not just on your calendar, but in your field. Simplicity isn't laziness. It's sacred compliance. You are becoming the kind of vessel that can hold the next transmission. But first, you must be emptied. And now, the silence arrives. Not the absence of sound, but the sacred hush before divine instruction. If you've been feeling the pull to withdraw, to isolate, to unplug, honor it. You're not escaping. You're receiving. The world has grown too loud to hear what's real. And today, the only frequency that matters is the one that arises from within. Don't fill your silence with noise. Don't rush to explain your solitude. Let it deepen. Because the deeper it goes, the louder the divine echo becomes. There is a reason you feel out of step with the world today. It's because your spirit has stepped into a space beyond the visible timeline. The rest of the world might still be catching up to the old narrative, but you've slipped through the seam. That's why nothing feels urgent, yet everything feels significant. You've entered the still chamber where destiny is formed before it takes shape, and you must sit there, not as a punishment, but as a participant. You are witnessing the construction of a new internal architecture, and noise is the only thing that could collapse it. If you're tired, let yourself be tired. If you feel numb, let yourself feel nothing. These are not flaws. They are thresholds. When the body quiets, the soul speaks. And today, your soul has more to say than your mind could ever interpret. Don't analyze the silence. Let it stretch. Let it echo. Let it press against your walls until something breaks open. Because that crack is how the light will get in. Do not chase clarity today. It will not come through force. It will arrive like a whisper you almost miss. A gut feeling. A dream flash. A pull towards something you can't name. Follow that. It doesn't need to make sense. It needs to be honored. Logic is a closed system, but your soul is an open channel. And today, the signal is coming through. But only if you're willing to be still enough to catch it. You were never meant to run through this day. You were meant to be stopped by it. You were meant to be confronted, emptied, whispered to, rewired, not by effort, but by surrender. You are alone, but not abandoned. You are quiet, but not forgotten. You are still, but the world inside you is rising. Let it. Let the emptiness breathe. Let the divine rearrange you. And don't interrupt the silence. It's saying everything you need to know. And it's in that silence, right there, in the pause where you thought nothing was happening, that something irreversible begins. The sacred machinery does not roar. It hums. It shifts gears when your soul says yes. And yours just did. The quiet was the signal. The surrender was the activation. Today has already decided more than you know. The timelines are splitting under your feet. Not later, not soon, but now. Somewhere in the hidden gears of the divine machinery, a permanent adjustment has been made. You can't unsee what's been shown, and you can't unknow what your soul now recognizes. This is not a moment for hesitation. This is the irreversible now. There are no rehearsals anymore. You are live inside the prophecy. Your body might feel it first, subtle pressure behind your eyes, or the strange sensation that the air itself is listening. That's not your mind wandering. That's the field around you updating. Everything is sinking to a deeper law. Old patterns are short-circuiting, not because you failed, but because they no longer belong. The version of you that held them has been retired, without ceremony, without permission, because the divine doesn't wait for your comfort. It moves on the clock of destiny. A sacred contract is being delivered today. It won't come with thunder or scrolls. It will appear as a decision that feels small, but weighs 1,000 pounds in spirit. It might be the choice to walk away, to forgive in silence, to stop explaining yourself to people who never heard you in the first place. It may even feel like loss, but that's the cost of inheritance. What's next won't fit inside what was. Somewhere deep in the emotional layers of your being, you are being freed from timelines that were not yours to carry. Lifetimes of spiritual labor are being discharged. The effort, the loops, the prayers that felt unanswered, they weren't in vain. They were banking momentum for this exact moment. You've crossed into the now, where things happen fast, because you've already paid the price slowly. The old self will try to argue today. It will ask for proof. It will try to rebuild what the spirit just burned down. But that part of you is only an echo now. Let it fade. Don't answer the voice that no longer lives here. The real you is emerging in silence, in clarity, in choice. There's a reason it feels like the ground is dissolving. Because it is. Nothing below you is certain. But what's above you is. The divine pattern has activated a rare alignment. You are walking through a portal so subtle, the world won't notice until it's already closed. But your soul noticed. It's why you're restless. It's why nothing feels like it did yesterday. Even the air is different. And here it is, the invisible gate, not made of gold, but of awareness. You don't enter it with steps, but with surrender. It's shaped like the choice to stop performing, to stop pretending you're okay with mediocrity, to finally admit what you want is sacred and real and deserves to exist. You don't beg at this gate. You remember who you are, and it opens. Today's divine sequence will not repeat. If you delay, it dissolves. That's not a threat. It's spiritual precision. The codes of today are encrypted in real time. The signs are custom made, and they won't fit tomorrow's language. This is not your moment to analyze. This is your moment to step in. There is something waiting for you in the future that requires you to be lighter now. That's why you've been nudged to let go. Not because the universe is cruel, but because it knows you can't carry yesterday's gravity through tomorrow's door. Let the grief come. Let it move through, but do not let it build a shrine. Today is about movement. Energy must stay in motion. If silence finds you today, receive it. If tears come without reason, trust them. If your heart suddenly knows something your mind can't explain, follow that knowing. This is not the day for logic. This is the day for language that only your soul speaks. The winds are whispering your name, not loudly, not publicly, but in a way that makes your whole being stand still. You are being invited into something ancient and new at once. It's a path without markers, a climb without visible steps. But every cell in your body knows where it leads. There is no more permission to wait. The prophecy is not coming. It has arrived. The light is not near. It is here. The question is no longer, will you? The question is, are you already? Because today is already happening. And the story is writing itself around your every heartbeat. And maybe that's why your soul feels like it's waking up in a room it never left. When the prophecy lands, memory stirs. Not from your mind, but from the fabric of who you are. Today is not just a day. It is the threshold. A veil so thin, it breathes when you breathe. Something ancient is rising. Not as thunder, but as memory. You are not remembering the future. The future is remembering you. There's a reason you have been sensing it before it arrived. This isn't foresight. It's soul tether. What was promised before your incarnation is now requesting your presence. Everything you touch today is sacred if touched with awareness. There is no such thing as a mundane gesture anymore. Stirring your tea, adjusting your shirt, looking out the window, it all bends the fabric. You are setting the rhythm not for a routine, but for a rebirth. August listens, and it doesn't respond to noise. It responds to intention. Create a pause today, and you create a portal. Skip the pause, and life moves forward without you. There is nothing more powerful than slowing down on the day destiny speeds up. Because that's where you meet it. Not in the rush, but in the still. This is the divine contradiction. The faster the energy moves, the quieter your spirit must become. What you do in this quiet will echo louder than any loud choice you've made before. Today is for frequency calibration. Not fixing, not manifesting, not striving, just tuning. Let your breath become your signature. Let your presence write the new terms of your life. The universe is not deciding for you. It is responding to you. Every choice today is not just a choice. It's a vote, a declaration, a crossing. Do not carry an expired identity into the gates that are opening now. They won't recognize you. And more importantly, they won't let you in. Today doesn't need your explanations. It needs your alignment. There will be a quiet moment, possibly while doing something entirely ordinary, where everything inside you says, this is the moment. You won't be able to explain it, but something inside you will shift from waiting to knowing, from surviving to stepping in. And that will be it. The timelines will move. The path will appear. The past will lose its grip, not because you wrestled with it, but because you simply stopped turning around. You are no longer here to negotiate with your old life. You are here to accept the new assignment. It doesn't come with fanfare. It comes with stillness. It doesn't scream with opportunity. It hums with clarity. This is not a test. This is not a lesson. This is fulfillment. The divine doesn't repeat itself. It fulfills itself. And today is one of those rare fulfillments, the kind only witnessed by those spiritually awake enough to feel it before it's named. What you say yes to now won't just shape your month. It will shape your map. There is something irreversible in this moment, not in a way that should scare you, in a way that should finally let you rest. Because the choice you've been agonizing over isn't a decision anymore. It's a recognition. You already know what to do, and your only task now is to stop pretending you don't. You were not meant to arrive here with all the answers. You were meant to arrive ready to surrender to a wisdom deeper than thought. This is that arrival. Right now. Today. Not someday. Not when it makes sense. Not when the fear subsides. The door opens in presence, and you are standing in front of it now. Somewhere, just beyond this moment, your next life has already begun. If this stirred something in you, it wasn't by accident. You were meant to hear it today. So if you felt the shift, honor it. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay close. Because what's coming next isn't content. It's alignment.